Merhaba, hoş geldiniz. Bu yıl ikincisini düzenlediğimiz Fokus etkinliğinde sizleri aramızda görmekten çok memnunuz. Welcome. Ben İlayda. Turner Türkiye'de Genel Müdür Yardımcısı olarak çalışıyorum. buildingSMART'ta da İletişim Çalışma Grubu'nun koordinatörüyüm. Öncelikle açılış konuşmasını yapmak üzere Muhammed Maraşlı Bey'i sahneye davet etmek istiyorum. Kendisi buildingSMART Yürütme Kurulu Başkanı ve Fibrobeton Yönetim Kurulu Üyesi.
Saygıdeğer konuklar, sektörümüzün değerli temsilcileri, kıymetli üyelerimiz. Fokus 2024 toplantımıza hepiniz hoş geldiniz. Öncelikle bu toplantı için emeği geçen herkese teşekkür ederek sözlerime başlamak istiyorum. Bildiğiniz gibi geçtiğimiz Haziran ayında Fokus toplantımızın ilkini gerçekleştirdik. buildingSMART üyesi sektör profesyonelleriyle bir araya gelerek buildingSMART Türkiye'nin faaliyetleri, yayınları, İşbirlikleri hakkında detaylı sunumları kıymetli konuşmacılarımızdan dinledik. Toplantılarımızın devam edeceğinden bahsetmiştik. Dolayısıyla bugün yine Fokus toplantımızın ikincisi için sizlerle bir arada olmaktan dolayı çok mutluyuz. Değerli misafirler, her zaman altını çizdiğimiz bir husus var. BİM ve beraberinde getirdiği sayısal uygulamaların tüm paydaşlarca doğru anlaşılıp yönlendirilmesi ve geliştirilmesi ülkemizin geleceği açısından da büyük önem taşıyor. Bizler de bu değişime ayak uydurmak zorundayız. Bu yüzden ülkemize, ekonomimize ve insanımıza daha fazla fayda sağlamak ve sürdürülebilir kalkınmayı bir adım öteye taşıyıp sürdürülebilir güvenli yapılar inşa etmek adına birbirimize daha sıkı bağlanıp daha güçlü, emin adımlar atmalıyız. Türkiye İmsat olarak inşaat malzemesi sanayinin çatı örgütü misyonumuzdan hareketle BİM uygulamalarının ve sayısallaşmanın sektörümüzde yaygınlaşması için elimizden geleni yapmaya çalışıyoruz. Bu hedefe ulaşmak için sektörümüzün tüm paydaşlarıyla çalışmalar yürüttüğümüz ve ev sahipliği yaptığımız buildingSMART Türkiye ile yapı sektörünün sayısal geleceğini beraber kurgulamak en önemli hedefimiz. Bu hedefe ulaşmak için de kamu temaslarımızı sürdürmeye, bilgilendirici toplantılar düzenlemeye ve ortak çalışmalar yapmaya devam edeceğiz. Gerçekleştirdiğimiz etkinliklerle inşaat sektöründe sayısallaşma konusunda önemli konuları masaya yatırıyoruz. Fokus toplantılarımızın amacı da tam olarak bu çerçeve etrafında şekilleniyor. Bu amaca yönelik bugün de bizlere çok kıymetli konuşmacılar seslenecekler. Toplantımızda konuşmacılarımızdan OpenBIM nedir, nasıl kullanılır, İş akışı ve faydaları nedir sorularının yanıtlarını dinleyeceğiz. Ayrıca IFC modelleme ve IDS ile model içerik tanımı ve kontrolü hakkında da değerlendirmelerini ele alacağız. buildingSMART Türkiye çatısı altında ülkemize ve sektörümüze fayda sağlamak adına tüm paydaşlarla çok sıkı bir işbirliği içinde olma sorumluluğumuz var. Hepimiz bu amaç etrafında birleşmeli, birbirimize saygı duyarak, destek olarak, sırt sırta vererek ülkemizin bu zor şartlarından çıkışta gerekli katkıyı sunmalıyız. Tüm sektör paydaşlarına açık, her bir katkının çok önemli olduğu bu platforma herkesi bekliyoruz. Birlikte hem sektörümüzü hem de ülkemizi daha yüksek noktalara taşımak temel amacımız. buildingSMART toplantılarımızda ilk günden beri, kuruluştan beri her zaman dile getirdiğimiz bir araya gelmek başlangıç, kalmak gelişim ve bir arada çalışabilmek başarıdır sözlerini hiç aklımızdan çıkarmayalım. Bu da önemli toplantı için kıymetli zamanınızı bizlere ayırdığınız için ayrıca teşekkür ediyorum. Sunumların ardından sizlere daha yakından tanışabilmek ve bu yoğun dönemde işlerimizden biraz uzaklaşıp farklı bir ortamda bir araya gelmek adına da planladığımız bir kokteylimiz var. Tekrar katılımınız için teşekkür ediyor. Güzel bir toplantı geçirmenizi diliyorum.
Hey Aiden.
Hello.
I'm the only one here.
Okay. I can talk.
Welcome. Let me show you the audience so you can be stressed out.
Ah. Hello, everyone.
Okay, so thank you for joining us. I will introduce you in Turkish and then leave the stage to you. İlk konuşmacımız Aiden MERCER, buildingSMART International Pazarlama Direktörü. Aiden'ın kariyeri dijital teknolojilerin benimsenmesi için marka oluşturma konularına odaklanmıştır. Deneyimi, yenilikçi yazılım çözümleri benimsemek isteyen firmalar için altyapı proje teslimi ve varlık performans yönetimi stratejilerini kapsamaktadır. Uluslararası yönetim deneyimine sahip olan Aiden'ın BIM, akıllı şehirler, büyük veri, IoT, coğrafi bilgi sistemleri ve dijitalleşme konularında kapsamlı yazıları bulunmaktadır. Dijitalleşme deyince biz de bu webinarimizi bir yandan webinar olarak bir yandan da burada fiziksel olarak dijitalleştirmeye çalıştık. Toplantı geçerken altta AI destekli bir sistem olacak ve konuşmacıların konuşmaları da altta geçiyor olacak İngilizce bir şekilde. Umarız ki güzel sonuçlar alırız. Okay, you can start, Aiden. Thank you.
I'm going to share a presentation and I hope you can see that all in full screen. Perfect. Well, thank you all very much. Thanks for the introduction. Sorry I didn't understand it in Turkish. However, I am learning some new languages and perhaps I can add Turkish to my next language. I'm sorry I can't be there in person. Hopefully, at some point in the future, I'll be able to join you for a buildingSMART event. My name's Aiden MERCER. I'm the Marketing Director of buildingSMART International. I've actually been at buildingSMART International now for over 6.5 years, which is quite amazing. But at the same time, really delighted to be sharing some of the progress that we've had over the last few years around Open BIM and in particular what we are calling the Open BIM workflow. Well, it's always very important for us to share our core mission, vision and purpose. And if we look at this, hello? Can you hear me? Is that okay? Okay. Okay, great. Let me just go back to this slide. Yeah, so if I look at our core vision, mission, and purpose, we believe in seamless exchange of trusted information across the built environment. We create and maintain open and reliable digital standards and support their adoption, and we bring together this global industry to develop and implement these standards to help things like automation, decision-making, really ensuring productivity and sustainability and profitability are realized in our industry. As we know, some of those are the main pain points that we deal with on a global basis. Well, a bit of history about buildingSMART International. I say BSI, actually, I should probably change this to say history of buildingSMART because it actually goes back before BSI. So 30 years actually ago, a group of organizations got together and formed something called the International Alliance for Interoperability. And back then, this 30 years ago, they felt that it was important that information was not locked away or siloed in proprietary formats, and there needed to be some sort of industry standard to share information. They renamed that in 2005 to something more understandable. And if we fast forward to 2012, IFC, or the Industry Foundation Classes, was actually ISO certified as an international standard. In 2013, as I mentioned in the history of BSI, buildingSMART International was formed, which is essentially a management body to help professionalize and improve the industry that we operate in. If I then fast forward to 2020, where we've really seen an acceleration of our roadmap, we published our technical roadmap to really fast track a lot of standards and services, what we might call the Open BIM workflow today. And most recently, we published our IFC 4.3 standard, which is considering infrastructure domains in 2024, which is now ISO certified. So we have quite a long 30-year history, but what we've seen in the last few years is a real acceleration of standards and services in combination. We also consider the context, as I mentioned earlier. We do need to make sure that our industry is being more sustainable and less expensive. We do need to be able to provide things like automation. So how does standards, what is the role of standards in making sure we can provide automation and optimize decision making these are really critical things that we have to support to make a transition to the next phase of this digital future that we're in. We still need to make sure that things like OpenBIM are front and center of everything we do, because we need to enable this accessible information. And again, we do open digital standards and services, which is really important. We're supported by over 70 plus members. That's buildingSMART International. So these organizations help us to ensure we can operate as a business. You'll recognize many of these organizations. And we have 10 sector-facing domains spanning different infrastructure types. And these domains have helped to develop the standards and services that we mentioned there. Most recently, the maritime domain has been the most recent one. We have others under consideration, like power transmission, water management, healthcare, and energy. And we have strategic groups as well that support the core mission. So looking at things like sustainability, as I mentioned, being a core theme, BIM and GIS, as we continue to look for this integration between the vertical and horizontal, and other working groups like digital twins, which provide strategic insight into these things. We have 36 national chapters, of course, Turkey being a very strong chapter of ours and great advocate for everything we do. Really impressed with the work that the chapter does and continues to push as the bastion of open standards for your market. But actually, if you look at the additions of red chapters here on the screen, you'll notice in 2023 and 24, we've had quite a few new markets being created. And if we include Morocco in 2022, we had 2 new continents added as well in South America and Africa. So really good that we see this growth in national chapters. We also expand our partnership network to include just getting a bit of feedback there. We increased my voice back suddenly twice. Hello, just checking the audio. Okay, that seems to have been resolved. Thank you for that. Yeah, so we have international partners that we work with. You'll notice things like ISO and CEN, making sure that we can support the standards through to publication. We have geospatial organizations in there as well, OGC being one of those. We have liaison organization agreements with the Digital Twin Consortium and IDTA. And recently with the Alliance for Open USD, as we continue to look at the future of our standards and how we can future-proof IFC, for example, with some of the latest and greatest, USD being the NVIDIA standard for the work that they do. So quite an exciting partnership there. I hope some of you have been to a summit before, but of course summits are a great opportunity for us as a group, as a community, to get together and actually collaborate and work together on these things. And most recently we're in Marrakesh, our first time in Africa, and here are some images. The reason I share this is that actually buildingSMART continues to be successful and grow because of all of the professionalism and goodwill that we see through all of our programs. And we deliver things like training programs, certification opportunities, networking, keynotes, and all sorts of interactive things at our summits. So hopefully at some point, if you've not been, we'd like you to come and join us. We have 2 summits per year, typically one in Asia or the US or Canada, and one in Europe. And maybe one in Turkey one day, which would be nice. We also have a board and a strategic advisory council which help us make key critical decisions about the work that we do. Again, here they are in Marrakesh. What we really try to focus on is OpenBIM and why it's important. So OpenBIM is about working with BIM in an open way, ultimately. So standards and services that we develop, as mentioned, permit this collaboration. We believe in a vendor-neutral approach. We believe digital workflows are the composition of standards to help us digitally transform, and of course, interoperability driving this automation. And this is the fundamental core principles of the OpenBIM workflow, which I'll talk to you now about. So firstly, with our standards and services that we've been developing since 2020, we've got the ability through our IDS information delivery specification to now better define project information requirements from a client or a project. So ultimately, if you're a client or developing a project, you can specify the information requirements within the IFC schema as to what information you want to be shared. This standard is really powerful, and it gives us the opportunity to develop information in a machine interpretable format. I mentioned earlier about developing standards for automation. This is exactly that. XML format helps us to develop this standard and connects to the IFC schema to make sure that we're doing that. As a result of defining this information, let's say a consultant or a project participant can now produce an IFC model based on that project information. This IFC model is produced as a result of this and reviewed, and markups, clashes can be detected using BCF, which is again a well-known standard going back to 2013. And BCF allows organizations to communicate and collaborate on issues and models. With our OpenCDE suite of applications, which are essentially a set of APIs, we can deliver and share data across a project or an asset's lifecycle. Our buildingSMART data dictionary is a portal, a sort of entry portal for an interconnected set of dictionaries that houses terms and types and really can reference the IFC schema as well. So I always use the example when I developed an IDS. I'm not a technical person, but I was able to develop an IDS. I used the bSTD as a reference point to actually populate the information in the IDS that I was developing. And all of the tools I was using were free and available online, which is really fantastic that you can do that today. And once you've developed this and developed this workflow of information, you can then upload your IFC model to the validation service to validate whether or not your model is actually valid. So if you've done all these steps correctly, the production of the IFC model should hopefully be valid, and you should be able to then pass that information across to the client, the project team, to say, here is a valid IFC model based on that. So define your information requirements, produce an IFC model, you can validate it through the validation service. You can then review and collaborate on those issues and then deliver that through a suite of APIs. This is all work that we've been developing over the last few years to actually provide support to the industry. For a bit more information about them, I have a QR code here. We've developed a whole set of brand new web pages to support the industry on this. For example, this web page gives, our new IDS page gives information about what it is, but it also gives access to some free tools that are in the market. So we've published that on our website for organizations that have declared that they support the IDS standard. There are quite a lot of free tools there, so I encourage you to try it. And if you're interested, I do just recommend you have a go and see what it's like to do. Develop an IDS, and of course this has become a really important part. Sorry I can't see you all, but I often ask how many of you have developed an IDS, and we're certainly starting to get more and more hands up in the room, which is very encouraging. I don't always need to describe what IFC is, but ultimately we're developing IFC to be really fit for purpose for the future. We also have a new web page on that, and of course developing IFC 4.3 as we support infrastructure domains, hugely important in April this year. Of course, we're also talking a bit about IFC 5 and the future of IFC, which is also very exciting as well. So we'll be publishing a lot more information on our webpage. Please do go and check it out, and you'll be able to keep up to date with everything that's going on around the technical developments of buildingSMART International. I mentioned BCF. It's just worth mentioning as well. We have, again, a new web page on there, and there are over 100 software tools that support this standard. It's a really popular standard and really great to see it so used widely in the market by so many organizations. And I mentioned our suite of API, we call them the OpenCDE, but this is a collection of documents API, the bSTD API, BCF, foundations. You can, again, get more information about those on our website. The bSTD as well, we have a new web page on that. You can actually search inside the web page, inside the bSTD, so you can actually search for things like IFC Wall and browse popular dictionaries like Etim or Uniclass. You may even have a localized version, or even develop something specific to Turkey, for example, which could really help support your market. So go and check it out. Again, you can search directly inside the website. And the validation service, again, is free service that we're developing. So validate.buildingsmart.org, you can actually go and upload your IFC models today if that's something you're interested in. And we're using the IFC validation service as the future for our software certification as well. So being able to understand which tools are very strong in the market in certain areas is really helpful. And we'll be gathering that information and supporting software organizations who support our standards, which is also, of course, very important. And lastly, we also have our use case management service, which is a useful tool to capture best practice within our industry. So we often ask if people are a bit stuck. You can always check the use case management service. You may find that there's organizations that have already captured their processes and uploaded to the UCM tool, and it's a useful thing for the organization. But of course, with all this, all these changes requires support needed for professional certification and development. So we have our PCERT program, we call it PCERT. We have 4 modules within the PCERT program. We have our entry level. Hopefully some of you have taken that online. That's free and available, and there's really a short set of questions, really just to get you interested in the program. We then have our foundation program, which is constantly being refreshed and updated. We're working on a management curricula to help support management level, and within our PCERT program, we've recently launched our practitioner, which really gets to the heart of the open BIM workflow that I mentioned. So a lot of the learning and the body of knowledge comes through the use of things like IDS, BSTD, validation service, IFC, and all these core principles. So we're supporting the industry with our professional certification program. We have over 25,000 people now certified individually around the world, which is really. We also support organizations with the adoption of Open BIM. So some organizations have said, we really like this idea, we would like to implement that in our business. And so buildingSMART International have been working with a few organizations to stress test this workflow, to help them develop IDS files, to produce better quality IFC models, to validate those models, to utilize a dictionary, and to share that information across their project stakeholders. And we've had a lot of success in this area for supporting these organizations. Here are some organizations we've worked with, spanning different organizations around the globe, and we'll continue to do that as of next year. There are 3 phases to this project. There's the discovery workshop, which really looks at business requirements and helps to develop the scope of work. And then we have the bulk of the work, which is essentially supporting this organization with the adoption of these standards and services. And then we provide learning and support, as I mentioned, with our professional certification program to ensure the individuals can support the work going on. And probably one of our most successful projects that we've worked on at buildingSMART International was the Fehmarn Tunnel project, connecting Denmark with Germany. And this project took about a year's work to develop various different IDS files for different phases of their construction project of this immersive tunnel. And as a result, the 13 different contractors that provide data to the client, which is Sundbelt, now produce IFC models that are valid and usable for them, whereas previously they weren't. So really successful. They're able to develop models in an open format, whereas previously it was all in proprietary format. And we're now fully in production, supporting Europe's largest infrastructure project as well. We've also been capturing best practice around IFC mandates. It would be great to see a mandate in Turkey. I always put this challenge out there, at least start the conversation around how open standards, or whether it's even a BIM mandate as well, is good. So encouraging markets to see the benefits of an open way is critical. And we've published this document, the mandates report. We will be refreshing it every year to make sure it's up to date. And again, I'd hope that the 2025 edition could include something from all of our chapters about plans to ensure that open BIM is part and parcel of a top-down approach. We also have a variety of materials. I get asked a lot about, well, I'd like to see some more examples about the open BIM workflow. We have our awards brochure. We have our awards program as well. We have our annual report where we declare all this information, and we have a lot of other papers as well, like Digital Twins Systems Perspective was our most recent paper that we published. So we have a publications page, and do recommend you check that out. There's a lot of interesting material. And if at all you've been inspired and would like to join us on this journey of open standards and community-driven standardization, then feel free to mark your calendar and hopefully join us in Singapore or Berlin next year. And definitely look forward to working with you, and hopefully at some point in the future I'll be there in person. So thank you all very much for your attention, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Aiden. I don't know your schedule, but if you have time, we can get the questions right now, because as you might know, we have two more
Sure.
speakers after you, so we don't keep you after their presentation.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, any questions? Yeah.
Sorusu olan varsa ben geleyim.
Thank you, Aiden, for the nice presentation. Is it possible to have a copy of the presentation? There were some of the QR codes that we couldn't scan.
Sure.
Okay, of course we already have it. All right.
I
Thank
made it
you.
available to the team, but I'm happy to also share it as a PDF.
I'll
if you need
pick it
as
up
well.
from them. Thank you.
We won't count this as a question then.
I have a question. Hello, Aiden. This is Aiden. We already have
Hi.
your presentation, and we are going to share the presentation with all of the participants from our website, so it is not a problem. I have a question. I think I heard you saying that we can have one of the international summits in Turkey. Did you say that?
Said it would be nice, wouldn't it? I said
Yeah,
it
we
be
would.
nice.
It would, but as far as I know, there is a queue for that. And for the next 2 years or something, it is already booked. Is that right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
But,
okay.
as we know, time goes very quickly, and
Yeah.
we're always looking for new markets or new countries that we've not been to. So I certainly don't promise anything, but I think it would be really nice if we could get the market there ready for an international summit or some kind of event. But yeah, I say that to almost every chapter, so it's difficult. But at the same time, we've not done one in Turkey, and we would love to. So I think we should have a follow-up discussion and think about whether we can schedule it in the next few years.
Okay, we would love to have you all here in Istanbul. So we will get in the queue too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
I
Okay
have two
then.
questions if there are no other questions. I can't see anyone, but I'll say them anyway. So, by way of hands, how many people have developed or started to develop an IDS file? Anybody?
Okay, you can raise the hands. 1, 2.
Okay, one or
Two.
two.
Only
Okay.
2 here.
That's good to see. So, I Neil as well, I can see you there. So, I would recommend that that's a really good starting point to better understand how information could be structured. It's a really good thing. And I use the point that actually, because I did it, anybody can do it. I'm a layperson in that area, which is really good. But the second thing is, in the development of these things, we talk about these IFC mandates. How could we encourage at the international level to support Turkey to align around Open BIM to make sure that we could advocate for open standards being a sort of policy? So maybe it's a rhetorical question, but I would also like to say we're here to help support Turkey, and hopefully everybody in the room also supports that, and we can do this top-down approach together.
If that was a question, I can answer for you. If you have the summit here,
Yes.
then you can do that.
All right. Well, that sounds like a good motivation, right?
Okay.
Okay.
So let me show you the audience so you can say goodbye.
Thank you all very much for your attention.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So our next speaker will be Neil Peterson from Open Design. Neil, CAD yazılım sektöründe 28 yıllık deneyime sahip, birlikte çalışma savunucusu ve aktivistidir. Son 10 yıldır Open Design Alliance başkanlığı yapmaktadır. Hala PDS Yönetim Kurulu'nda görev almaktadır. Welcome, Neil.
Merhaba. Really happy to be here today. I was happy to get the invitation. I actually bought a place in Antalya a year ago. and really happy to have a reason to come to Istanbul for a weekend. So thank you for having me here. All right, so I'll start with a little bit of information about our organization, Open Design Alliance. We are a member-based technology consortium. We're supported by 1,200 companies worldwide. Some of our member companies, Bentley Systems, Autodesk, Schneider Electric, Oracle, Siemens, all the major CAD companies support us. We also are supported by IT companies, Microsoft, pharmaceuticals, auto manufacturers. It's a really broad part of the industry. We're supported by CAD developers, GIS system developers, IoT, AEC, BIM market, PLM, plant process, and other areas. So a very broad consortium. And our vision is unfettered access and exchange of engineering design data. So we're also committed to interoperability, the same as buildingSMART, but we are providing a set of tools that implement that interoperability rather than developing standards. We have a development team of 120 people full-time, so we've got a big team and an experienced team that's been around working for us for more than 20 years. And as I said, our mission to support the interoperability vision is the development of software development kits. We provide toolkits for programmers to integrate interoperability into their applications. We are an official buildingSMART partner since 2019 as well, and that's the reason that I'm here today to talk about this. So the tool sets that we provide for OpenBIM are in two broad categories. For end users, we have a viewer called OpenIFC Viewer that supports a number of the workflows that Aiden just talked about: inspection of IFC models, documentation, collaboration, validation, and publishing. And then the core tool set that we offer to companies for integration of OpenBIM technology is a set of software development kits: IFC toolkit, a common data environment or CDE toolkit, visualization engine for CAD and BIM. We offer a toolkit that works with Revit data called BIM-RV. And we also have a Scan to BIM project. It's an experimental research project that's working with point cloud data and extracting BIM models out of point clouds. I'll talk about each one of those in a little bit more detail. So, OpenIFC Viewer. It's an industry standard viewer for a lot of domains, a lot of companies. It's an application that we develop as a service to the industry. We release it every month, so we're fixing bugs, we're enhancing it on a regular basis. OpenIFCViewer.com, check it out, download it. It's a free product. We do it as a service to the industry, and also it's a demo of our software. It's a way that people can see the capabilities of our technology without having to go through a lot of trouble downloading the toolkits. It's available on Windows and Mac. Linux version will be coming next year. Standard viewer used by a lot of people at the buildingSMART conferences, the U.S. DOTs, Department of Transportation, statewide departments use it as a standard viewer, and you can see the screenshot, the screen recording going. It's optimized for large models. It's a good product. You can inspect IFC models. So if you're working with IFC data, one of the main is inspection of models. So we support all IFC versions through the latest 4.3, which is the latest standard. And we also support the 4.4 experimental standard that's being developed by buildingSMART but hasn't been published yet. You get all of the normal things you would expect in a viewer: panning, zoom, rotation. We have GPU-based element selection, isolation, hide, animation. I'll show a quick demo of that a bit later, so you can generate walkthroughs of a scene if you have an IFC model. View modes: shaded, wireframe, X-ray. Property inspection, so all of the properties, custom properties. You can click down on a building element, look at all the properties in the viewer. Real-time cutting planes, so you can scale down and look at the inside of a model by setting up a cutting plane, and also a layer manager. So there's a lot of capabilities. Just a quick screenshot of this is the layer manager pane, so you can bring up a list of all the layers in a model, turn them off and on, so you can zoom in and inspect only the parts that you want to. The one other feature that we offer in the viewer is the ability to document a model. So you can add annotations, you can put text, circles, rectangles on top of the IFC model. You can add the coordinate stamps or component stamps. You can save an annotated view. You can export snapshots that have been annotated as bitmap files if you want to share with other people. There's measurement support, so you can go into a model, you can click on two elements and measure the distance between any 2 points in the model. There's snapping support, so you'll snap to the corners. Kobe export, if there's anybody using Kobe, so we support Kobe export. And screenshot here, building model, and you can see done some just simple markup. There's a couple of measurements that have been put on for one of the railings and on the roof. But it's some powerful features if you want to go and inspect and analyze an IFC model. Collaboration tools, Aiden mentioned the BCF support as part of the buildingSMART workflow. So we have full support for BCF in the viewer. That's the BIM collaboration format. So you can load a model in, and then you run clash detection. So it will find collisions between any parts of the model, and then you can save those clashes out to a BCF file. And you can also add comments. We support the older 2.1 BCF version, as well as the newest 3.0. And the BCF workflow then, it allows multiple people to load that project in. You can look at the collisions, you can put comments and with your user information, so you've got a multi-user workflow to go through and try to resolve the collisions and improve the model. And so all of that's supported in the free viewer application. So you can load the BCF back in, look at the saved clashes, and do a complex workflow with this functionality. And this view is just showing you run the collision detection, you get a list of collisions. You can click on each one, it will zoom in and show you the two items that are colliding. You can add some comments, you can document, so this is just a screenshot, one step in that workflow. We also have validation capability in the viewer, the same type of validation that Aiden was mentioning at the buildingSMART side. So this is the validation being done on the desktop application, so you don't have to upload a file or anything, you can run it directly in the viewer. It does the syntax checking of the IFC model. It also, we have an express interpreter, so we can actually do validation on global rules and where rules within the IFC file itself. Instance validation, we have full support for IDS, the validation standard that Aiden was talking about. So if you have an IDS file, we can load that in and run those validations on your model. You can filter by validation type, and you can save the validation results out as text or HTML. So it's a handy tool if you just want to run local validation on models. Here's a screenshot of the validation pane, so you can see on the left side here that you've got checkboxes for all the different validation types, so you can turn them off and on, and you can see a list of the errors that were found in the model on the right-hand side here. And the last capability of the viewer is you can take the viewer and load an IFC model and save it out to PDF, and PDF is widely used in a lot of areas, so it's a nice additional feature. You can save it as 2D PDF or 3D PDF, your choice. So our core product line for our organization are tool sets for developers, and so the first of those is our IFC SDK. This is the core platform, the core library that we have for working with IFC data. And it's a programming API that allows you to read and create IFC models, any version all the way through the latest 4.4 experimental version. We have the SDAI interface that's defined in the ISO 10303-24 standard So that's the standard API that a lot of IFC toolkits use. We write our core software in C++, and we also have a .NET layer on top of that, so C++ or .NET APIs are available. We can read the normal text IFC file, the step physical file, IFC XML, IFC zip, and IFC HDF5, the binary IFC version. We have runtime support for new schemas. If you have an experimental IFC schema that you're developing, you can actually load that schema file into our toolkit and then work with IFC models that use that experimental schema without having to recompile your application. It's a really powerful feature. If you're doing experimental versions of IFC, multi-level validation. So the validation that I talked about for the free viewer is available as part of the toolkit, so you can integrate that validation into any of your own applications. It supports all of the complex entities in the latest IFC versions, including alignments, advanced B-reps, all of the most recent complex IFC objects. And our toolkit, IFC SDK, is used by a lot of major vendors. It's used by Autodesk in Revit for their IFC export, used by Bentley Systems. A lot of CAD companies are using this technology to implement IFC support in their applications. And just to talk about the complexity of so it's an open format, and so a lot of people tend to think that, well, you have the specification, it's a simple effort to just implement support for IFC in your application. But it's actually quite complicated to implement support for the entire IFC specification. We've got 50 person years invested into our IFC toolkit at this point. So it's been a lot of work. It's about 3 million lines of code. 350 bugs have been fixed. And that's the reason that a lot of major vendors choose to work with us rather than developing their own technology, because we've invested a significant amount of effort and resources into developing a really good IFC toolkit, and it's a lot cheaper and easier to work with us rather than trying to duplicate this amount of work yourself. And you can see in terms of industry, this is a count of the number of downloads we've seen among our membership in the past 5 years for IFC SDK. 2020 was the first year that we released. We had 600 downloads. It's gone up every year, 3,600, 15, almost 16,000, and 19,000 last year. So the interest in IFC industry-wide among CAD vendors and other companies is growing very quickly. One other thing that I'd like to talk about is open source software. So big open source proponent. It's great. We use about, 55 open source packages in our platform. So we make heavy use of open source technology. But our business model is not open source. We are source available, but it's not an open source business model. And in comparison to open source, we offer some strong advantages. And so we've been in business for 26 years, and 99.9% of our customers want us to fix the bugs. They want us to do all of the work in our software. They have access to the source code, but 99.9% don't want to touch it. They want us to do it because it's complex. If you have even one developer full-time trying to keep up to speed so they can keep working and doing development on a complex project like this, it's really expensive. And so it's far more cost-effective for a lot of companies to come together with an organization like ours, and they're jointly funding our development team, and then our team is creating a high-quality product that everybody's sharing. So we've got the advantage that if you license our software, you get bug fixes and technical support free. You don't have to do that burden yourself. It's a strong advantage over open source. We also have integrated graphics. We have an integrated geometry kernel, so you don't have to license or use a separate third-party kernel like Open Cascade. if you're working with IFC, everything is under our control that we develop. And we also have the option, if you come in as a member at our top tier, you can get a seat on our board of directors and control the strategic direction of our organization. So I think we've got one of the best business models in the industry. You know, we're not widely known because we spend all of our money on development and not on marketing, but we've got a really good business model, and we're a long-term partner for the industry. So in addition to our IFC SDK, we have what we call our Visualize SDK. It's a high-performance graphics engine for CAD and BIM data. It's multi-threaded. It's optimized for large models. We have sophisticated visual effects, screen space, ambient occlusion, shadows, other types of visual effects. There's an animation API, so you can do walkthroughs and other things, interesting things with scenes. And it's not just for IFC. The visualization framework works for all of our supported formats. So you can do one viewer for IFC, Revit, DWG, DGN, STEP, all of the formats that we support. As I mentioned, we've got integrated geometry kernel. You can explode a view, sectioning, measurements, all the features that I talked about in the OpenIFC viewer are available in this toolkit, so you can build those features into your own viewing applications. Fully customizable, available on all platforms, Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, iOS. So it's a really nice package. This video, just, let's see. So this is the screen capture from OpenIFC Viewer, and it's like there's an animation plugin. You've got a really simple set of boxes here. You can set up a few parameters, and then this is just doing a walkthrough on the scene along some railroad tracks in an IFC file. So it's a really simple matter to program in, or to just do it manually here to do a walkthrough in a scene. That's using our animation API. Another very popular workflow that we're seeing, that we're getting requests for in recent years, is people are trying to build common data environments. They're trying to put the BIM models or CAD models in a web-based file repository. They want to visualize those models. They want to do markup. They want to share. They want to use them for different purposes. And so we offer what we call our CDE SDK, Common Data Environment SDK, and it's a tool set for integrating our technologies into web-based applications. So it has a client-server architecture. Server side, we support AWS and Azure. And this is not a service, so it's not like the Autodesk Construction Cloud. It's a technology that you can install on your own servers, and then you can host it on a private cloud. If you don't want to give your IP over to some third party, you can use this technology to host the IP on your own servers or wherever you like. It supports fast-based visualization from the client, and we support all of the a number of file formats: IFC, Revit, DWG, Navisworks, Civil 3D, STEP. You can put all of those files and work with them, visualize them, and inspect them within the same web-based environment. It's scalable with security protocols. You can fire up additional server instances if you have a large number of users. There's file management and versioning, user access controls, and we also support the OpenCDE API that Aiden mentioned as part of the buildingSMART workflow. So one of our most popular technologies of companies that are joining our organization in the recent years. Yeah, this is just an IFC model coming up in Chrome, one of our demo applications that you can actually, cloud.opendesign.com, you can go and get a free account and try it out. You can upload a file and try it out yourself. We have an SDK for working with Revit files. It's called our BIM-RV SDK. Now, Revit is not open BIM, obviously, but we get a lot of requests for people that want to be able to read data out of Revit files without having to open the file in the Revit application. Like they have a web-based application, and it's not convenient to get a Revit license to try and work with that Revit data. So we've got a full API for reading a Revit file and accessing the data and visualizing the data in that file. It supports versions 2011 onwards of Revit. You can access all the model elements, families, properties, everything in the file. We can do 3D and 2D views, visualization for those. So you can import the geometry from a Revit file into your application or the families into other applications. We provide access to the parametric relationships in the Revit model. We have creation support, very limited at this point, so you can create simple objects. You can actually create something that looks like a building. You can create all the geometry, but we don't do parametric geometry for buildings yet. You can't generate a smart model where everything's connected parametrically. You can just do dumb geometry. It's a very complex process, but on the read side, you can access everything. You can visualize everything. Family import is implemented, and the reason I'm mentioning it in this context is that one of our most popular requests for Revit is the ability to take a Revit file and just convert it to IFC without having to touch the Revit application. So that's one of the functionalities that we built in to the BIMRV SDK. You can have this installed on a web server and do a conversion from Revit to IFC without any dependencies on Autodesk software. So it's an easy way to get access to the data in a Revit model without having to go through this API. And this is the rendering of a Revit model within our cloud visualization framework. So it works in with our visualization framework and our web platform. And I don't have slides for this, but just we also have a toolkit for Civil 3D. If you're working with Civil 3D data, so you can access, and we're working on conversion of Civil 3D to IFC. And next year we'll be starting on open road support. We've got a lot of customers that want to get access to open roads data from Bentley, the Bentley product, and convert that to IFC as well. So we're getting more and more demand for conversions of proprietary formats into IFC. And the last product that I'll talk about here is it's a research project that we've had going on for 2 or 3 years now. We call this our Scan to BIM SDK. We don't have a product for this that's released. It's still under development, but it's working with point cloud data. The cost of laser scanners has gone down so much in recent years that everybody's got a laser scanner and everybody's scanning things, and you end up with like terabytes and petabytes of data, and people are trying to figure out, what do you do with that data? How do you get something useful out of it? And so that's kind of the driving force of this project. Going through this stuff manually, it's cool to look at the data, but trying to do something manually with it is really expensive and it's error prone. Brownfield projects are using this. People are going in trying to remodel an old building where you don't have design. Facilities management, construction project monitoring. They want to go through and take a scan every day and see what's changing and do something automated. Quality control, looking for cracks in buildings or bridges. So there's a lot of applications for this. So I'll show you where we are. This is screen capture of our demo application. For this, we're loading in a recap file, an Autodesk recap file. This is a point cloud scan of a small co-location center in Yerevan, Armenia. So we go through and analyze the point cloud data and get surfaces out of that. We're mostly planes at this point, but we're going to be doing cylinder recognition. You get the surfaces, and then you consolidate them into larger surfaces, as you can see here. So we've got the floor and the ceiling. Going through at this point, you have things like coffee table and ductwork and things that we don't have a way to get automatically in this version of the product, so they're kind of going through there and cleaning up some stuff manually. And then if you superimpose the result back on top of the point cloud, you can see that we're getting some pretty accurate positioning for the walls, the windows, and the openings. It's not a perfect model at this point. And one of the challenges, the biggest challenge for this, you can see all the stuff that's in there, the furniture, the plants, and the biggest challenge is trying to figure out what's part of the building that you want as part of the model and what's junk. You know, or you have a door that's part way open, and the algorithm will think that's a wall, and you end up with this weird wall in the middle of your room. So the challenge that we're working on currently is how to clean out all the stuff that you don't want in the model, and get a clean model out of it. So this is at this step we've got the generated surfaces. We've classified things as doors, walls, floor, ceiling. We connect them, and then we can export that as IFC, and then bring that IFC file into the OpenIFC viewer, and you can see we've got a, you know, not a perfect model at this point, but not bad results coming from the scan. And so the issue that we've had that we're trying to solve currently is how to classify junk and throw it out of the model. How do we determine the junk from the walls, the stuff that you want to keep? And so to solve that problem, we are integrating some machine learning algorithms, and this is an early version of a semantic classification system that we've implemented based on machine learning. And you can see it's got colors. The ceiling is yellow, but the ceiling fans now are a different color. We can tell the difference between the ceiling fans and the ceiling, the desktops and the desks and the floor and the walls. So we're able to distinguish different classes of objects, and using that classification system, we're going to be able to throw out all of the junk from the model automatically. So we're planning to have this integrated into that other application, to our main workflow, probably by March of next year. And at that point, we'll be putting out a public beta and trying to get some feedback. I don't think it'll be fully usable at that point, but it's coming along nicely, and there's a lot of potential for this technology. If we can polish it a little bit more to where you can really get an automated process to generate an IFC from one of these point cloud scans, it'll be, you know, hugely useful for a number of industries. So anyway, some cool technology that we're working on, and we're hopeful about the results. That's all I have for you today. Thank you for your attention, and don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions.
Thank you, Neil. Can we get questions?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and it looks like excellent work you've done. I have two questions, one related to the Revit IFC translation.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the same that's implemented in Revit, and is there, performance-wise, that's one of the pain points, converting Revit files?
We have companies that are licensing ours just for the better performance that we have. So ours is much faster, and it's not the same. So
Okay.
and it's customizable also. We're improving it as we get more requests. We're improving it, but it's much faster, and people are using it just for that reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any crude metrics? How fast? I mean, I know it's relative, but just
I can't say for sure, but I was in China a few weeks ago, and we have a customer that's paying, that they're licensing just because it's faster, and they're using it on a web-based application. But they said it's a lot faster. So but I don't have numbers.
And one more question about the validation. What is it, the IDS validation that you're mentioning in the free?
It's IDS, but also there's like syntax validation for the IFC, and then you can do like property. You can do sort of custom validation on properties. So there's a number of different layers, and you can customize all of that. So it's really any type of validation that's possible on an IFC model. You can do that in the viewer. There's 3 different layers.
And is anyone using that for code check implementations that you know of? Has it been used for that?
So we get a lot of feedback from our customers when they have problems. But if everything's working well, then it's like crickets. We don't hear anything. So we often don't have a good idea about when people are having success with our technology. So I don't have numbers on that sort of thing. And you know, we try to send out surveys, but you know, people just, you know, if it's a problem and then they want it fixed, then they want to have a conversation. But they're not that interested in reporting their successes. So sorry, I don't have.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Maybe I can have a question here.
Yeah.
Is it possible to have a bidirectional Power BI connection between IFC Viva or the other application that you're providing?
Aviva?
Connection between Power BI and
Power BI,
bidirectional.
I'm not familiar with.
No.
Power
Okay.
BI? Yeah, no.
Thank you.
Thank you. How many scanned case do you use to train your machine learning model about the last application to classify this is a floor, this is a desk, this is a ceiling, and etc.?
The current set, I think, is about 250 models.
Okay, thank you.
Any other question? Okay. Thank you a lot, Neil. Thank you.
Thank you.
Şimdi renkli bir sunumumuz var. Suğde Hanım. Suğde Kurt bize IFC modelleme ve IDS ile model içerik tanıtımı ve kontrolü üzerine bir sunum yapacak. Suğde henüz bir inşaat mühendisi adayı. Eğitimini İstanbul Teknik Üniversitesi'nde İnşaat Mühendisliği ve Marmara Üniversitesi'nde bilgisayar programcılığı bölümlerinde aynı anda sürdürmektedir. İnşaat teknolojileri ve BIM süreçleri, programlama veri analitliği, çizim ve heykeltıraşlık konularında ilgi duyan Suğde, İston Beton Fabrikası'nda üretim planlama mühendisi, TAV İnşaat'ta BIM mühendisi olarak staj yapmıştır. Ve ilk sunum olduğu için de biraz heyecanlı olduğu için bir alkış istiyorum.
Merhaba, sesim geliyor herhalde. Biraz yakınlaşmam gerekebilir. Aslında kim olduğum biraz tanıtıldı ama sunumuma başlamadan önce kendimi kendi açımdan da bir tanıtmak istiyorum. İlk önce biraz özür dilerim. Aslında sunum içeriğine geçmeden önce buildingSMART topluluğu ve yapı bilgi modellemesi nasıl tanıştığım hakkında bir bilgi vermek istiyorum. İnşaat mühendisi öğrencisi olarak lisans eğitime başladığım zamanda hem bilgisayar hem de inşaat temel iki ilgi alanımdı. Bu süreçte bu iki alanın bir kesişimi olarak ilgimi doğal olarak çekiyordu. İlk başlarda kişisel araştırmamı, BİM'in ne olduğunu anlamaya çalıştıktan sonra yaz döneminde bu alanda staj yapmak istediğime karar verdim. Şanslıyım ki TAV İnşaat'ın BİM departmanında stajımı yapma fırsatı buldum. Bu süreçte de yöneticim Doktor Ahmet Çıtıpıtıoğlu'nun değerli yönlendirmeleri ve desteği sayesinde belirli alanlarda araştırma yapma şansı buldum. Kendisinin hem bilgi birikimiyle beni yönlendirmesi hem de bana bağımsız araştırma yapabileceğim bir alan sağlaması bu alanda çok büyük bir yol gösterici oldu. Sunumumda öncelikle bir sayfaya atlayayım. Evet, sunum başlığım burada gözükebiliyor. Sunumumda öncelikle OpenBIM ve IFC'nin, Informal IDS'in ve bSTR terimlerinin tanımlarından başlayacağım. Daha sonra da bu terimlerin Blender uygulaması üzerinde uygulama şekillerini bahsedeceğim. OpenBIM'den bahsedecek olursak, inşaat her projenin eşsiz olduğu ve birçok farklı disiplinin bir arada çalıştığı karmaşık bir süreç. Doğal olarak bu süreçte sayısız parametremiz ve değişkenimiz bulunuyor. Yapı bilgi modelleme bu süreci, bu kaosu biraz daha bir nebze azaltsa da aslında tek başına yeterli olamayabiliyor. Bu noktada OpenBIM herkesin erişebileceği. Tamamdır. Böyle OpenBIM herkesin erişebileceği standart bir iletişim dili sunarak süreci daha verimli hale getirir. OpenBIM ile veriler farklı kaynaklardan yazılabilir ve okunabilirler. Tüm taraflar belli üzerine işbirliği yapabilir ve veriler bir projenin yaşam döngüsü boyunca ve sonrasında da erişebilir hale gelirler. Özetle OpenBIM yaklaşımı belli bir yazılıma veya bir iş akışına bağlı kalmadan herkesin dijital süreçte iletişim kurabildiği, özgür ve esnek bir şekilde hareket edebildiği bir ortam yaratır. OpenBIM yaklaşımının bir sonucu olarak da IFC ve proje verilerinizin tamamının toplandığı bir dosya formatı. Bu dosya formatının varlığı veri kaybı olmadan farklı yazılımlar arasında bilgi aktarımını mümkün hale getiriyor. Yani projelerde yer alan tüm paydaşlar kullandıkları yazılımlardan bağımsız olarak aynı veriler üzerinde çalışabiliyorlar. IFC dosya formatının OpenBIM açısından bir kilit taşı olduğunu da bu fonksiyonuyla söyleyebiliriz. Information Delivery Specification, IDS, bilgisayar tarafından yorumlanabilir bir biçimde bilgi gereksinimlerini tanımlayan bir buildingSMART standardıdır. Bu standart, IFC modelinizin belirlediğiniz standartlara uygunluğunu test etmenizi sağlar. Ayrıca verilerin verimli bir şekilde teslim edilmesine yardımcı olur. Çünkü neyin değiş tokuş edilmesi gerektiğini net bir şekilde belirler ve beklentileri açık bir şekilde ortaya koyar. IDS kullanıcısı IFC modelinde nesnelerin, sınıflamaların, malzemelerin, özelliklerin ve hatta değerlerin nasıl teslim edilmesi gerektiğini belirleyebilir. IDS'in kullanım sürecini özetlersek, ilk adımda proje gereksinimleri ve verileri nasıl ileteceğine dair standartlar belirlenir. Bu aşamada projenin kapsamına ve ilgili tarafların ihtiyaçlarına göre hangi verilerin paylaşılması gerektiği kararlaştırılır. Bir sonraki adımda belirlenen bu gereksinimlerin uygun IDS kodları oluşturulur. IDS XML dosya formatında oluşturuluyor. Böylece bilgisayar tarafından kolayca okunup yorumlanabilir. Model oluşturulduktan sonra IFC dosya formatını projeniz IFC dosya formatına getirilmelidir. IDS ve Editor gibi araçlar kullanılarak bu IFC dosyalarındaki verilerin doğru formatta ve belirlenen standarta uygun şekilde sunulup sunulmadığı kontrol edilir. Eğer uyumsuzluk ya da hata varsa gerekli düzeltmeler yapılır. Son olarak IDS süreci tamamlandığında veriler proje paydaşlarına teslim edilir. Bu sayede tüm ekipler doğru verilere erişebilir ve proje sürecinde sorunsuz bir işbirliği yapılmış olur. buildingSMART Data Dictionary, bSTD, yapı sektöründe açık ve tarafsız bir veri sözlüğü platformudur. Temel amacı uluslararası düzeyde uyumlu bilgi paylaşımını mümkün hale getirmektir. Projelerde kullanılan terimlerin, sınıflamaların ve özelliklerin standart bir şekilde tanımlanmasını sağlar. bSTD içeriklerinin daha iyi anlaşılması amacıyla buildingSMART'ın bSTD yapı taşlarını ve veri ilişkilerini özetlediği grafiğe yer vermek istedim. Burada sınıf tanımlarımız aslında projede kullandığımız kolon, kiriş, kapı gibi öğeleri temsil ediyor. Class property ve property'ler bu sınıflarımızın sahip olabilecekleri özellikleri temsil ediyor. Mesela bir uzunluk özelliği olabilir. Bir kolon için taşıyıcı olma özelliğinden bahsedebiliriz. Ve izin verilen değerlere sahipler bu özellikler. İzin verilen değerlerin şöyle açıklayabiliriz. Mesela uzunluk özelliğinden bahsediyorsak bu bSTD üzerinde real veri türüne sahiptir. Yani küsuratlı bir sayısal değere sahip olabilir. Ama bir kapı objesinin exterior ya da interior olması özelliğinden bahsediyorsak bu boolean veri türüne sahiptir ve true ya da false değerleri alabilir. bSTD aynı zamanda obje sınıflarımızın hiyerarşiye sahiptir. Üst sınıflar daha genel özelliklere sahipken alt sınıflarımız daha spesifik ve detaylı tanımlamaları sağlar. Örnek olarak bir kapı sınıfının bir kapı sınıfı üst sınıf ise alt sınıfı da cam kapı sınıfı olarak adlandırılabilir. Burada bSTD'nin veri tabanından bir görüntü paylaşıyorum. Aynı zamanda alfabetik olarak bSTD'de bulunan bütün sınıfları burada görüntüleyebiliyorsunuz. Kolon sınıfına daha dikkatli bakacak olursak da hem üst sınıfları hem alt sınıfları hem de taşıyıcı olup olmama özelliğine sahip olduğu ile ilgili bilgileri direkt olarak bu sözlükten öğrenebiliyoruz. Bu OpenBIM, IFC, IDS ve bSTD'yi tanımladıktan sonra aslında bu terimleri birbiriyle çok bağlantılı ve yani birbiriyle iç olduğunu fark edebiliyoruz. Eğer OpenBIM'in temel hedefinin standart bir dil oluşturmak ve uluslararası standart bir dil oluşturmak olduğunu düşünürsek, IFC bu dilin alfabesi, bSTD sözlüğü, IDS de bir gramer kitabı gibi düşünülebilir. BIM'in dil kısmını tamamladıktan sonra bu dili kullanarak işlem yapmamızı sağlayan bir yazılımdan bahsetmek istiyorum. Blender. Aslında sunuma geçmeden önce Blender'ı kaç kişinin kullandığını ya da duyduğunu sorabilir miyim? Aslında bayağı bir insan. Bu kullananlar mı yoksa duyanlar mı? Kullanıldı mı? Aslında bayağı duyanlar. Aslında ben de daha önce özellikle bir animasyon programı olarak duymuştum ama yapı modellemesi üzerine de kullanabildiğini öğrendikten sonra çok etkilenmiştim. Yani kullanmaya başladığımda da Blender'ı gerçekten çok büyük potansiyel olduğunu da düşünüyorum. Blender açık kaynaklı ve ücretsiz bir 3D modelleme yazılımıdır. Animasyon, görselleştirme, oyun geliştirme ve video düzenleme gibi pek çok alanda kullanılabilmektedir. Blender'da add-on'lar yazılıma yeni işlevler ekleyen küçük eklentiler veya modüllerdir. Blender'ın temel özelliklerini ekstra araçlar ve yetenekler katarak yazılımı daha esnek ve kullanıcıya özel hale getirirler. Bu add-on'lar kullanıcıların ihtiyaçlarına göre isteğe bağlı olarak etkinleştirilebilir ve kullandıkça Blender'ın işlevselliğini geliştirirler. Bu sayede kullanıcılar kendi projelerine uygun özellikleri ekleyebilir ve yazılımı daha verimli şekilde kullanabilirler. Blender'ın aynı zamanda bir Python konsolu da bulunmakta. Yani eğer yazılıma yatkın bir kullanıcı istediği şekilde farklı fonksiyonlar yazılıma ekleyebilir. Bu add-on'ların bir kısmını da aslında ücretli şekilde temin edebilirler ya da kendi add-on'larını üretebilirler. Bu noktada bir Blender eklentisi olan Bonsai'den bahsetmek istiyorum. Bonsai, eski adıyla Blender BIM. Halihazırdaki Blender fonksiyonunun üstünde BIM projelerinde IFC dosyaları oluşturma, düzenleme ve analiz etme yetenekleri ekler. Bonsai etkinleştirildiğinde IFC dosyalarını açabilir, düzenleyebilir ve proje verileri üzerinde çalışabiliriz. Bu sayede Blender sadece bir 3 boyutlu modelleme aracı olmaktan çıkar ve BIM verileriyle uyumlu çalışan güçlü bir platform haline gelir. Blender'da obje oluşturma sürecinden bahsedersek, objeleri kendimiz oluşturabileceğimiz gibi aslında farklı 3 boyutlu modelleme yazılımlarından objeleri Blender'a aktarmamız da mümkün. Şahsen bu kapı tasarımı bana ait değil. Ama bu kapı tasarımı Blender'a aktardıktan sonra ona bir IFC sınıfı atama mümkün. Sağda gördüğünüz panelde de IFC sınıfı seçtiğimiz kapı objesini IFC sınıfına atayabiliyoruz. Bonsai'nin içerisinde de tanımlanmış IFC sınıflarını burada görebiliriz. Bu şekilde projemiz için gerek duyulan birçok objeyi oluşturmamız mümkün. Tabii obje sayımız ve türleri de arttıkça bu objelerden bir kütüphane oluşturabiliriz. Gördüğünüz görsel benim oluşturduğum bir kütüphaneye ait. Tamamen aslında bu kapı ve pencereler Blender üzerinden modellendi. Modelimi tamamladıktan sonra aslında solda da proje içerisindeki bütün objeleri ve bunların birçoğu IFC modeli olarak bir kısmı sadece projede kullandıklarım görüntülenebiliyor. Bu dosyanın kütüphane kullanılması için aslında IFC dosyası haline getirilmesi yeterli olur. Bu şekilde başka bir projede kullanmaya hazır hale getirebiliyoruz. Yeni bir projeye başlandığı zaman sıfırdan obje oluşturma süreci çok fazla zaman alabiliyor. Ayrıca yapı modelinizi hazırlarken aynı proje üzerinde kapı modellemeye çalışmak bilgisayarı da zorlayan bir durum. Bu noktada obje kütüphane çok pratik bir çözüm sunuyor. Soldaki görselimizde projemizde obje kütüphanelerini yükleyebileceğimiz paneli görebiliyoruz. Bu panelde custom library, kişisel kütüphanemizi kullanabileceğimiz gibi aynı zamanda Bonsai'de hazır bulunan kütüphanelerden de objeleri istediğimiz gibi çekmemiz mümkün. Hem istediğimiz türde, istediğimiz sınıfta objeyi çekebiliriz. Bütün bir kütüphaneyi indirmemiz gerekmiyor. Ya da tabii bütün kütüphaneyi indirmemiz de mümkün. Eğer kütüphanemizde varsayalım 2 metrelik bir kapımız var ama bizim projemiz için 2,1 metrelik bir kapıya ihtiyacımız var. Bu süreçte modelimizde halihazırda belli özellikler, mesela materyalimizin değişmeyeceğini varsayarsak, objeyi tamamen sıfırlamak yerine aynı materyal üzerinden boyutunu değiştirip library override fonksiyonuyla farklı bir boyutlandırma yapmamız mümkün. Bu kaynak kütüphane dosyamızda bir değişiklik yaratmıyor. Blender projesinde bulunan tüm objeler ekranın sol tarafındaki panelde sergilenir. Bu özellik kullanıcıların tüm objeleri kolayca görmesine ve erişmesine olanak tanır. Bir obje seçildiği zaman objeye ait özellikler properties sağdaki panelde gösterilir. Blender'ın IFC entegrasyonunun güçlü olması, mesela projelerde kullandığım zaman diyelim ki siz bir IFC dosyasına sahipsiniz ve bu dosyanızın hangi yazılım üzerinden yazıldığı hakkında bir fikriniz yok. Bu dosyayı Blender üzerinden açtığınız zaman bir proje içerisindeki bütün objeleri rahat bir şekilde görüntüleyebiliyorsunuz. Bu projelerin özellikleri de sağdaki panelde tek bir şekilde görüntüleyebiliyor. Katı, uzunluğu, artık ne tür özellikleri varsa. Ve bunu görüntülemek için çok aşırı Blender'a hakim olmanız da gerekmiyor. Blender'da modelleme sürecini anlattıktan sonra IDS Editor üzerinden IDS oluşturma sürecinden bahsetmek istiyorum. BIM açık veri standartlarını destekleyen bir BIM yönetim platformu. Proje verilerini depolama, paylaşma, düzenleme ve kontrol etme gibi birçok özellikleri bir arada sunuyor. BIM IDS Editor, bir IDS Validator diyebiliriz. Projelerdeki IFC dosyalarını belirlenen IDS kriterlerine göre doğrulamak için kullanılan bir araç. Kullanıcılar IDS kriterlerini tanımlayabilir ve uygun IDS dosyasını IDS Editor ile oluşturabilirler. Bu editör aynı zamanda görsel açıdan size belirlediğiniz standartları bir rapor şeklinde de sunabiliyor. Burada obje sınıflarına göre belirlenen şartlarımızı görebiliyoruz. Dikkat edilmesi gereken nokta IDS dosyamızın versiyonunun modelimizin ve IFC versiyonu ile ortak olması, uyumlu olması. Alt kısmında da benim projem için oluşturduğum standartları okunabilir bir şekilde gözlemleyebiliyoruz. Mesela burada ben projemde duvarlara bir etiket eklemiştim. Bu gibi standartlar editör üzerinden kolaylıkla oluşturabilir. Ancak bu standartların doğru tanımlanabilmesi sınıfların sahip oldukları özellikler ve bu özelliklerin alabileceği değerler ile doğrudan ilişkidir. Bu noktada tekrar bSTR'nin sözlüğüne bakmamız ve objelerin ne tür özelliklere sahip olabileceklerini kontrol etmemiz gerekiyor. Editör üzerinden IDS dosyasını oluşturduktan sonra Blender'a geri dönüyoruz. Blender'ın IFC Tester panelinde IDS dosyamızı yükleyip raporumuzu çıkartmak istediğimiz formatı belirleyip testimizi başlatıyoruz. Test çalıştıktan sonra IDS test raporu otomatik bir şekilde görüntüleniyor. Bu rapor proje verilerinin standartlara ne kadar uyduğunu gösterir. Rapor başarılı geçen kuralları, ihlalleri ve uyumsuzlukları belirtir. Ayrıca her ilay için açıklamalar ve önerilen düzeltmeleri içerir. Böylece proje ekibi verilerin standartlara uygunluğunu sağlamak için gerekli düzenlemeleri yapabilir. Bu noktada mesela eğer dediğim gibi bir duvarlarınıza etiket özelliği verdiyseniz ve birden diyelim 38'e kadar sıraladıysanız ve projenizde diyelim bir duvarı etiketlemeyi unuttunuz. Burada raporda aslında bu hatalarınızı da görebilme şansınız var. Aynı zamanda 38 dışında diyelim bir 40 gibi bir değer verdiyseniz de aynı hataları gösterecektir. Beni dinlediğiniz için teşekkür ederim. Sorularınız varsa?
İyi ki heyecanlıydın, yoksa yıllardır sunum yapanlar kıskanırdı.
Teşekkür ederim.
Evet, soru ama bu sefer kolaylarından lütfen. Daha fazla şey yapmayalım.
Teşekkürler Suğde. Çok güzeldi
Sağ olun.
sunumun. Bir ilk sunum için çok güzel.
Teşekkür ederim.
Ben biraz geri gidebilir misin slaytlarında?
Tabii.
Bu IDS oluşturma sürecini biraz açıklayabilir misin? Yani ne kadar vaktini alır mesela böyle bir...
Panelde çok gösteremedim ama şöyle bir durum var. Aynen gösteremiyor. Bu sürecin ne kadar süreceği bir noktada sizin cidden bSTD hakimiyetinize de bağlı. Şimdi projenizde sizin evet dediğim gibi daha önce objenizin ne tür özelliklere sahip olabileceğini bilmeniz gerekiyor. Aynı zamanda mesela
yani bir ön çalışma
bir
yaparak.
ön çalışmanız gerekiyor ve mesela diyelim ki dediğim gibi 1'den 38'e kadar işte kolonları etiketlediniz. Bunu kod şeklinde yazılımı aslında sistem size otomatik olarak yapıyor. Ama doğru cümleyi kurmanız gerekebilir. Şurada gösterebilirim. Mesela bu kod şeklinde duvarların 1'den 38'e kadar olacağı bu şekilde tanımlanabiliyor. Direkt olarak 1.38 yazıp tanımı standartı oluşturamıyorsunuz. Aynı zamanda işte tabi burada çok net görünemiyor sanırsam. Value string bir string olarak okuyor. Tag özelliğinin standart bir şekilde oluşturuyor. Yani açıkçası editörü kendisini biraz evet kişisel olarak hem BSTD standartlarının iyi bilinmesi, objelerin özelliklerinin bilinmesi, aynı zamanda bir noktada kodlarının da bilinmesi gerekebilir. Bu kod yazımı konusunda IDS kendisi yardımcı olabiliyor. Bunu size direkt çıkarabiliyor ama sizin onu da mesela duvarları 1'den 38'e sıralayı düzgün bir şekilde yazmanız gerekiyor. Yanlış yazımı çok fazla yani doğru sonucu vermesi sıkıntı yaratabiliyor bu konuda. Ya da eğer XML formatında olduğu için ve kodlama biliyorsanız direkt kendinizde dosya üzerinde bu standartı belirleyebilirsiniz.
Peki burada hatalı bir tanımlama yaptığın durumda bir uyarı alıyor musun, yoksa bunu daha sonra kendini keşfetmen lazım?
Direkt olarak tamamen hatalı görüyor. Yani şu demek oluyor. Diyelim ki 1.38'de gitti 38.40 aldı. Tabii öyle almaz da kodu. Bu sefer tamamını hatalı gösterecektir. Yaptığınız standart doğru bile olsa tamamen hata verecek.
Yani diğer testi yaptığınızda hatalı
Evet,
gösterecek sonuç.
şöyle diyelim. Mesela atıyorum doğru yazanlarda bir sıkıntı olmayacak ama yanlış yazılmışsa hepsini yanlış olarak raporda gösterecek. Bu duvar objesi için yanlış olacak. Diğerlerini etkileyen bir durum yok.
Teşekkürler.
Rica ederim.
Algılamak için soruyorum
Tabii.
aslında. XML formatında dedin ya hani demin şeyleri. Çok güzeldi bu arada sunumun, ağzına sağlık. Normalde atıyorum bir C#, C++ hani aslında çeşitli kuralları vardır bazı validasyonları yazmak için. HTML'in de var mesela. Tam temeli nereye bağlanıyor? Var mı öyle bir şey, yoksa bir üst dil mi? Yani ara dil olarak mı IDS gelmiş? Onunla ilgili... Ya kuralları biraz farklı mı? Yani kendi kütüphanesi mi var, kendi yazım şekli mi var? Öğrenme sürecinden biraz bahsedersen aslında ben cevabımı alacağım.
Şöyle bir şey, ben dosyanın kendisini açtığım zaman direkt olarak kod olarak gördüm. Kendi içerisinde bu validasyon sürecinde ne tür testler yaptığı hakkında maalesef bir bilgim yok. Ama dediğim gibi mesela şunu yapabiliyordunuz. Bir dosya açıyorsanız ve işte o formatın dilini biliyorsanız, ki zaten program dilini aşağı yukarı benzerlik gösteriyor. Onun üzerinde oynamalar yapabiliyorsunuz ve testiniz doğru çıkıyor. Ama muhtemelen dosya içerisinde, burada aslında yukarıda dosyanın kod şeklinde versiyonu olmuş olması lazım. Bir dakika. Buradaki ortada gördüğünüz
Evet, bu vardı.
kod versiyonu.
Bu IDS'in kendi kod versiyonu değil mi?
Bu tamamen IDS'in dosyasının kendi kodu. Hiçbir şekilde bir ekleme çıkarma yok. Dosyanın kendisinin.
Okey. Peki bunun mesela öğretisiyle ilgili ayrı bir kütüphanesi var mı? Mesela editörde veya bir kaynak var mı?
Bu kaynaklar benim fikrim yok. Ben bunu
SMART varsa tamam, güzel, çünkü hani okey, teşekkür ederim, ben aldım cevabımı.
Başka var mı sorusu olan? Ya da işe almak isteyen? Kızmasın Ahmet Bey böyle sordum diye. Tamam. Teşekkür ederiz Suğde. Ağzına sağlık.
teşekkür ederim.
Herkese katılımları için teşekkür ederiz. Networking ve kokteyl terasta güzel bir manzarada başlayacak şimdi. Tekrar hoş geldiniz ve umarız keyif aldınız.